Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. We come to you live from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for an NL Central matchup. Our first weekend after the All-Star break, the Cincinnati Reds visit the Pittsburgh Pirates. Both teams currently on the outside looking into the playoff picture, but both in hot pursuit. The Pirates 2.5 games out. The Reds 4 games out. Uniform glitch pops up quickly. Willie Stargell is a Pirate, not a Red, and he's had a terrific year. 284, 26 homers, 53 RBIs for Stargell, who has moved from the outfield to first base as Jake Beckley failed to get the job done at first. The Pirates couldn't weather that any longer. Ed Morris gets the start, 8-5, a 3.02 ERA in 19 starts. He will face Cy Seymour, the Red center fielder, batting .270 to lead things off here in Pittsburgh. Appreciate you tuning in as always. First pitch from Morris is a called strike. The Pirates a game over 500. In pursuit of the division-leading Chicago Cubs, Seymour lines it the other way, but Elliott snares it on the backhand. And there's one down. Your Reds lineup: Seymour, Griffey, and Rhodes. Foster, Lombardi, and Casey. Groh, Concepcion, and Bid McPhee round things out for the Reds. There you see Pete Rose. Rose among the league leaders in batting. First, here's Ken Griffey, 291, 6 homers, 22 RBIs for Ken Griffey Sr. Breaking ball is in there for a called strike. The Reds have never made the postseason here in the FSBL. The Pirates have made it the last 2 years, last year as the division champion. Falls in for a called strike. Morris ahead 0-2. Morris delivers. Slash the other way. That's a fair ball for Griffey. Here rounds first. He's going to stretch it, trying for 2. Throw in from Clark. It's close, but not in time. And Ken Griffey has a 1-out double, his 17th double of the season. Good piece of hitting there from Griffey, just taking what he was given. Clark got to that ball pretty quickly. And it's a good throw in there, but Griffey is in. And that'll bring up Rose. Rose batting .327. Takes the first pitch strike. Third in the National League in batting. 10 homers, 44 RBIs. Smacks that one to second. Throwing out, runner moves over. So a productive out, although Rose would surely disagree. He's looking for a hit and an RBI. So 2 down, and that'll bring up George Foster. Foster batting .258, 19 homers, 41 RBIs on the season. First ball from Morris is in for a called strike. Weeks out from the trade deadline. Interesting to see if either of these teams make any moves as that approaches. Fastball misses high. Change up. Going on to miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Lawrence delivers. Foster hits this one well to right, going back on it. Clemente over his head. He's not going to get there. Run's going to score. Clemente retreating hard, and that Foster does not run well. And despite Clemente ending up on the ground there, Foster will hold at second. It's an RBI double. Slicing toward Clemente over his head. Clemente gives a terrific effort there. I know it's to the opposite field, but Foster has enough pop. Clemente was playing a bit shallower than I would have expected him to there. And that's a tough play, a slicing liner directly over your head out and right. Here's Ernie Lombardi. Lombardi batting .250 as he steps in. Smack down to first. It's a low liner. Stargell snares it, and the side is retired. But the RBI double from George Foster gets the Reds on the board. We head to the bottom of the first. Cincinnati 1, Pittsburgh coming up. So there, especially from that angle, Clemente was very shallow out and right. Starting for the Reds, right-hander Bucky Walters, 7-9, a 3.79 earned run average in 20 appearances so far this season. Reds pitching has done a very nice job here in year 4. Walters will start off facing Fred Clark. Clark batting .270.
The left fielder, Fred Clark.
Ball off the plate for ball 1. You see the Reds a couple games below 500 now. Central has been pretty packed around that 500 mark for much of the season, with the exception of the beleaguered St. Louis Cardinals. But the Cardinals, with a big move, we just talked about the trade deadline. And the big story so far, again, we're a couple weeks out from the deadline. The trades have started here in July. And the Montreal Expos are clearly dismantling. The Expos, as Clark lines that one towards the gap. We'll get back to the Expos in a moment. That's got a long way to roll towards the wall. Finally retrieved by Seymour. Clark is around second. He's going to pull in at third. It's a leadoff triple for Fred Clark, and the Pirates are in business right off the bat here in the bottom of the first. Fourth triple of the season for Fred Clark. Slashing shot there. Splits the gap, goes all the way to the wall. So that'll bring up Max Carey. Carey batting .289. So the Expos have now traded Andre Dawson to the Detroit Tigers. They've traded Jeff Reardon, their closer, to the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks currently hold that second wild card spot that both of these teams are pursuing, although they're about the same distance from the Diamondbacks for the wild card as they are for the Cubs in the division. But now they have also traded Bryce Harper. Harper dealt to the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, the Cardinals have had an abysmal season here, almost inexplicably abysmal season here in year 4. Remember, the Cardinals went to the NLCS the first 2 years of the FSBL, and they missed the playoffs a year ago. Eliminated on the last day of the season, and now Cardinals in the cellar in the NL Central, but they have swung a deal for an impact player in Bryce Harper, dealing Lou Brock and Johnny Padres. Padres, of course, had been acquired from the Dodgers in the deal that brought Jay Howell to St. Louis, sending Ripper Collins to Los Angeles. Here's Roberto Clemente as the Pirates tied it up there. Knotted up at 1. Bases are now clear. That was a productive out. Clemente batting .261. Lines this shot. That ball is smoked out to right on the run, giving chase. Ken Griffey, nice play. Ken Griffey Sr. tracks that one down. Clemente hit that ball hard. Your Pirates lineup: Clark, Carey, and Clemente. Stargell, Elliott, and Van Slyke. St. Ian, Bell, and Neil Walker. The Pirates' bats are what are letting them down. .257 average. Next to last in the National League. That's not the fault of this man. Willie Stargell, .284, 26 homers, have him 4th in the National League. 53 runs that thin. Again, Clark at the start of this season was playing left field. Jake Beckley was the first baseman. With Beckley, you had a down year a year ago. struggled mightily for the first 2 months of the season here in year 4. The Pirates decided they couldn't weather that any longer. They have a bunch of solid, if unspectacular, outfielders, although the expectation is that Clemente will develop into a star player. Stargell taps this one back to the mound. Walters has it. Throws the first. And the side is retired. But the Pirates knot it up. Here in the bottom of the first, we'll head to the second. Reds and Pirates deadlocked at 1. Here's Sean Casey. Again, the Reds have an odd platoon at first base. Sean Casey, the lefty, plays against lefties because he has extreme splits where he's better against lefties than righties. If he plays against lefties, right-handed hitting Frank McCormick plays against right-handed. First pitch from Morris, misses down low. So again, the Pirates with just a bunch of very similar outfielders who they plug in there. At least different kinds of players, but similar in, overall impact. It's probably a better way to describe that. But you've got Carey and Fred Clark, and Starling Marte, and Andy Van Slyke, and Jake Stenzel. Clemente is entrenched in right field. He plays every day. So Stargell made the move to first base. He hasn't missed a beat. Offensively, Casey fouls that pitch off. It's 2-2. And as we've mentioned several times, the Pirates, obviously a ton of stud players in that pipeline who just haven't entered the league as of yet. Hans Wagner, Ty Trainer, Ralph Kiner. The list goes on. Casey's retired there for the first out as Elliott sets him aside. Here's Heine Grove. Grove batting .262. Homer 12 RBIs. Grove's days, at least as a starter, may be numbered here in Cincinnati. The Reds, of course, drafting Tony Perez in this year's rookie draft. Many people think that Perez will take over the starting role immediately upon entering the FSBL for year 5. One and one to count. Morris delivers. Fastball misses inside. It's 2-1. Ball misses high. 3-1. Steve Concepcion waits on deck. One is fouled off. Morris field, 3-2 pitch. Grove fouls another one off. Fastball misses up high for ball 4. So a good at bat there from Heine Grove to work out the walk. 1 out base runner for Cincinnati. Here's Concepcion. Concepcion batting .240. Brought that average up a little bit over the last month. 12 stolen bases. Again, that OPS still a somewhat ghastly .566. Concepcion has played a very fine shortstop for Cincinnati. Ball's a ball strike. It's 0-2. Change up. Plate. 1-2 the count. Curveball bends in. Close to hitting Concepcion, but he wheels away from it. And the count is 2-2. Fouls that one off. Morris delivers fastball right down the middle. Not sure what Concepcion was looking for, but it wasn't that. He goes down looking, and there's 2 away.
The second baseman, number 0.
Good work there from Cannonball Ed Morris. So here's Bid McPhee. McPhee batting .241. Fastball is in for a called strike. And homers, 25 RBIs for McPhee. Ball there, gets a piece, fouls it off. It's 0-2. Marks delivers. The plate. High fly ball to center. Van Slyke underneath it. Puts it away, and the side is retired. So the Reds are turned aside in the second. We'll head to the bottom half. Elliott, Van Slyke, and Sanguian due up to Pittsburgh. Here's Bob Elliott. Elliott won the National League batting title last season. Batting .258 this year. 12 homers, 36 RBI. Walker's deal, slider down low. Slider misses down low again. Is in for a call strike. Walters rocks and fires. Slider misses inside. It's 3-1. Elliott lines that one to right field for if he gets over. Puts it away for the first down.
Batting 6, the center fielder, number 18.
So that'll bring up Andy Van Slyke, 264, 11 home runs, 38 RBIs for Slyke. Curveball from Walters misses down low. That slider doesn't slide, stays outside, 2-0 the count. Walter's working pretty briskly here. There, and Slyke fouls it off. Two-one offering, and Slyke kind of pokes one. That's an inside-out swing, but it works. Gets it through the hole into left. So it's a one-out single for Andy Van Slyke. Van Slyke can run a pitch. It's down and in. He goes down and kind of pokes it out there into left. So here's Sanguian. Sanguian batting .275. Slider. In for a called strike. 1 homer, 15 RBIs for him. Very deliberately comes to the set there. Pitch out, runner not going. Got to fix Ernie Lombardi's captain's mask. He should have the old school mask, not the modern one. Slider misses away. pitch from Walters. In there for a called strike. It's 2-2. For the first, Van Slyke dives back in case he doesn't even bother trying to find tag. 2-2 the count. Ground ball. Hope. Nice play. McPhee throws the short for one on to first. Not going to get Sanguillen. Close play, but they do get the force at second. Terrific stop by Bid McPhee to take a hit away from Sanguillen here. Close play at second. Close play at first as well, but Sanguillen definitely did beat that out. Good job by Manny getting down the line. So 2 away, Sanguillen on first. Here's Jay Bell. Bell batting .263. Walters breaks out the knuckleball in there for a strike. 13 homers, 30 RBIs for Bell. Pitch. Bell, high fly ball to left. Going back on it is Foster. He'll get there. Puts it away. And the side is retired. So Walters works around the Van Slyke single. We're through 2 here at a overcast Forbes Field. Reds 1, Pirates 1 as we head to the third. Here's Cy Seymour. Seymour lined out his first time up.
Number 35.
Ball with the call-up strike. Fly ball to the right. Clemente puts it away for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 30. Ken Griffey.
Here's Ken Griffey, 1 for 1, a double and a run score. Change up, misses down low. Where's the bunt? Elliott on the charge, on the bare hand. Nice play, Bob Elliott, and he gets Griffey there for the second out. Nice work by Bob Elliott. So that'll bring up Pete Rose. Rose is 0 for 1. Fastball misses down low. One-0 pitch from Morris. Breaking ball there. Rose swings over the top. He's got a couple of homers over his last 8 games. Power not really his game. 2 down. Morris delivers. Rose fly ball to center. Easy play for Van Slyke and an easy inning for Cannonball and Morris. Down go the Reds. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Walker, Clark, and Carey due up for the Bucks. We're tied at 1. Here's Neil Walker, recently called up. He had a stint up here earlier in the year. He's batting .231, 2 homers, 7 RBIs.
Walker.
There's rocks and fires. There's foul off. Walters delivers. Walker turns on this one. Hit pretty well to right. Griffey's going back. Still going back. It's going to be a one-hopper off the wall. Walker pulls in at second. He rounds the bag. He's going to head for third. And Neil Walker with a lead-off triple, his second of the year, to open things up for the Pirates here in the bottom of the third inning. Deep shot to right. That ball carried well. Maybe a little bit of a jet stream going out there. Again, that ball before that got over Clemente's head seemed like it kind of carried a bit more than expected as well. But regardless, man on third, nobody out. Here's Fred Clark. Clark tripled. Later scored. Walters delivers. Ground ball in the hole. Diving stop. Knocked down by Groh. He's not going to have a play, and the run comes in to score. And the Pirates take a 2-1 lead. Infield single for Fred Clark brings home Neil Walker. Tough luck there for Walters. Here's Max Carey. Carey is 0 for 1. Center is in for a call strike. Carey had the RBI ground out his first time. Delivers. Dirt ball low. Breaking ball misses outside. Throw over to first, and the throw gets away, but it bounces right back to Casey. Off the brick there. Hit from Walters. Franked out to right, hooking well foul. Count goes 2-2. Ground ball to second. B to Concepcion. They can't get Carey at first, though. It looked like that would be a fairly routine double play ball, but Carey does get down the line well. Beats it out. Now, one away, a runner on first. Here's Clemente. Clemente, 2 for 4 in the opener of the season. Find out his first time up here today. Pitch out. Nothing is on. Clemente, 5 triples on the year. Certainly Ford Field helped with that. Pirates expect a strong second half from Clemente. Rookie has gotten his feet wet through the first half. Runner goes, throw down to second by Lombardi is a strike, and they get him. Oh, Ernie Lombardi puts that throw in a perfect spot, and Max Carey is gunned down. Right on the button from Ernie Lombardi. Bid McPhee slaps the tag on. Base runner is wiped out, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Slider misses inside. Rio offering, misses down low for ball 4. So Clemente draws the walk. 2 out base runner here for the Buccos as Willie Stargell steps in. Stargell grounded out his first time up. Sinker is in for a called strike. Slider is fouled off. So Walters ahead of Stargell here, 0-2. Walters deals. Ties him up on a wicked slider inside. Stargell looks bad on that one, and Walters avoids further damage. But the Pirates take the lead. We're a third of the way through. 2-1 Pittsburgh as we head to the fourth.
Leading off for Cincinnati, the left fielder.
Here's George Foster. Foster had an RBI double his first time up. That's ball. This is outside. Curveball. This is down low. Morris behind Foster, 2-0. Delivers. Line the other way, foul. Not sure what that whole section of empty seats is there down the first base. Foster. Caught off guard there by the changeup. The count goes for 2-2. Ground ball to third, right at Elliott. Foster does not run well. Elliott with the easy play as he takes his time, and there's one away.
Now batting, number 4.
So that brings up Lombardi. He lined out his first time up. Lombardi, there's 249, 16 homers. And I do throw this temporary, this occasional reminder out there as far as the ratings. I used Clay Davenport, who's a guy who's been involved in sabermetrics for ages. Now he has his own website where I get a lot of that info from. But he did stuff for Baseball Prospectus and all that kind of stuff. And Clay's been just a huge asset to the sabermetric community. But he came up with these things, Davenport translations, which is basically designed to kind of put all players in history on a similar plane. So it's very good for evaluating guys across eras. And one of the things that it does is it takes kind of guys from dead ball and stuff like that and says, well, okay, well, how this guy performed in that environment, if you put him in a modern environment, that is what this would equal. So you'll see guys, a guy like a Bid McPhee, here for the Reds or something like that, who was playing at a time when they were hitting, 3 or 4, he was, 3 or 4 home runs a season. Well, in the context of Davenport translations, if you take 3 or 4 in that era, would be equal to, 10 to 13 or something like that in the modern era by virtue of the nature of the game and stuff like that. So it's a way particularly to balance out, old pitchers who may have not been really that great, but in an era where all the ERAs were so low, kind of, their numbers look good until you really kind of get into, things like the ERA plus and how they were relative to the time and stuff like that. And really for offensive players, particularly from a power perspective, a guy like, a Frank Home Run Baker. Now, Frank Home Run Baker's nickname actually comes from a single home run that he hit, not that he was prodigious power, although he did lead the league in home runs 3 or 4 times his career. So he was a power hitter for the era. But that's not actually where his nickname comes from. But that's kind of beside the point. So a guy, Baker was leading the league in home runs with 11 and 12. I think it was 14 one year or something like that as a fly out there. Ends the top of the fourth for the Reds. We'll head to the bottom half. Still 2-1 Buccos. Elliott, Van Slyke, and Sanguian 2 up. But to put Frank Baker in a modern environment and have him hit 11 homers is shortchanging him in the context of baseball history. So that's the reason why I do why I do ratings in that fashion. Otherwise, just your majority of the really old school guys, just they wouldn't keep up, and that's not. I don't believe that's a fair assessment of where those guys rate in the pantheon of baseball history. 2-0 here as Walters works to Elliott. Elliott puts it down the left field line and fouls. Slider there is fouled off, and the count goes to 2-2. I do feel like Play's method short changes pitchers from older eras a little bit, so I've kind of incorporated some adjustments on that front in my rating system to kind of counter that a little bit. Walters rocks and fires, 2-2 pitch. Slider misses away, and the count goes full. Andy Van Slyke waits on deck. Walters deals. Line shot out to right center field. That's going to split the gap, and that's going to go to the wall. Griffey racing back to try to retrieve it. Runner will pull in at second with a leadoff double. So the Pirates, it feels like they've had the leadoff man on every inning. Elliott smokes a double, his 12th of the season. And the Buccos are in business here to open up the bottom of the fourth. Here's Van Slyke.
Now batting, number 18.
One misses outside. Van Slyke singled his first time up. Van Slyke smacks that one. That's a base hit in the right. That got out there in a hurry. Runner makes the turn, but holds. Wisely, Griffey's throw is on the mark, but the Pirates have runners at the corners. With nobody out, here's Manny Sanguillen. First pitch slider swung on and missed. Being grounded out his first time up. There's a shot right back to the mound. Walter snares it, throws to third, tries to double Elliott off, but he gets back in time. Nice play there by Bucky Walters. Sanguillen smacked that one right back up the box, but Walters snares it. Big out there, one away. Here's Jay Bell. Bell is 0 for 1. Slider misses away. This is down low. It's 2-0. The ball there is fouled up. Walters from the set. 2-1 pitch. This is outside. Neil Walker, who tripled his first time up, waits on deck. Swung on and missed, and the count goes full. Walters would love a double play ball here. That's the sign from Lombardi. Takes a peek at the runners. Now deals. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Throw to McPhee. On to first. 5-4-3. There's the double play, just like Walters ordered it up, and he gets out of the jam. Big double play ball turned there by the Reds. started by Heine Grove. We'll head to the top of the 5th here at Forbes Field. Bucks turned aside, but they do still lead it 2-1. Here's Dave Concepcion, 0 for 1, struck out his first time up.
The shortstop, number 13.
58 pitches through 4 for Ed Morris, right around where he'd want to be. Fastball is in for a called strike. Ball misses inside. One and one to count. That one's hit well out to center. Going back onto this Van Slyke. He'll get there. Puts it away for the first out.
Now batting, number 0.
Here's Bid McPhee, 0 for 1. He flew out his first time. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. In a little bit. There's a shot towards the gap in right center. That's going to be extra bases. That's going to the wall. Van Slyke goes back to retrieve it. Again, there's all sorts of space in the outfield here at Forbes, and we've got another triple. Bid McPhee, his first triple of the season. And the Reds have the tying run, 90 feet away. Nothing anybody could do about that. That's a splitter into the gap. Order turns over. Here's Seymour. Seymour is 0 for 2. Rays lead the Red Sox 5-1 in the 5th down in Tampa. Desmond Jennings continues to perform for the Rays. He's got a 3-run shot in that ball game. Orioles defeat the White Sox in Chicago 5-3. Aaron Stevens, his 21st home run of the year for the O's. Shoeless Joe Jackson, his 21st for the 3 in Arlington. Jesse Hubbard the win. Tim Lincecum the loss. Don Baylor, his 26th home run for the Angels. Adrian Beltre, his 14th for the Rangers. A's over the Astros 2-0 in the second down in Houston. Marcus Semien was driven in both A's runs. Tigers defeat the Royals 3-1 in Detroit. Danny McLean improves to 9-3. White Evans drove in run for the Royals. Danny McLean a run over 8 innings. Throw home runner tries to come home and he's thrown out at the plate. Testing Roberto Clemente, not advisable. Clemente fires a strike and Bid McPhee is gunned down trying to score the tying run. That gets us to the midway point. Well, that book on Clemente is going to get around the league very, very quickly. McPhee is gunned down by Roberto, still 2-1. Here at Forbes, here's Neil Walker. Walker tripled and scored his first time up. Oh, that was pretty. That is just a howitzer of a throw from Clemente. Ball was not too deep. Trying to make something happen there. Again, Clemente's a rookie. That word's going to get around.
The left fielder, Fred Clark.
That is not the arm you want to be testing. Walker pops out. Here's Clark. He's 2 for 2. He tripled, singled, drove in a run. Chopped out to second. McPhee has it. Throws the first. That Clark is set aside. There's 2 away. Mariners defeat the Mets at Shea 5-0. Mike Moore gets the win. Tom Seaver takes the loss. Moore 8 2/3 scoreless in that one as Max Carey steps in here for the Pirates. Phillies lead the Cubs 3-0 in the second. Sliding Billy Hamilton has hit his 7th home run of the year for Philadelphia. The slider is a called strike. The 0-1 pitch coming from Walters. Hot. A couple steps onto the outfield grass. Concepcion puts it away and the side is retired. So nice job there by Bucky Walters. Very easy. Bottom of the 5th. We head to the 6th. 2-1 Pirates. Ken Griffey will lead it off for Cincinnati. Griffey doubled and scored earlier on, the only run for the Reds.
Griffey.
Morris deals. Griffey tops this one, rolls it down to Stargell, who takes it to the bag himself for the first out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Pete Rose.
So that'll bring up Rose. He's 0 for 2. He is flown out and grounded. Rose slashes that one down. Next game on the channel, we'll head over to the American League for the American League game of the week. The Toronto Blue Jays in the wild card hunt visit the New York Yankees. The Yankees playing .700 ball, yet still don't have the best record in the American League that they share with the Oakland A's. But the Yankees, going to be a very tough out come the postseason. But the Blue Jays head in. They will start Brian Anderson. Anderson acquired a couple of weeks ago in a trade with the Diamondbacks. Anderson was in the top 5 in the National League at the time of that deal. Trade that sent Sean Green to Arizona as George Foster steps in. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Brian Anderson will go for the Blue Jays in that one, and Ron Guidry. It always seems like when I do the Yankee games, Guidry's one who takes the hill for New York. Gator will get to make another appearance in prime time here against the Jays. Change up, misses outside. It's 2-0. Fastball. Ooh, that looked like a good pitch. Morris doesn't get the call. And it's 3-0. Ernie Lombardi waits on deck. Change up, down low for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to George Foster there from Ed Morris. And that'll bring up Lombardi. 1 for 2. He's singled back in the 4th. Breaking ball. Lombardi skies it to center. It's carrying, but Van Slyke cracks it down. Puts it away. And the side is retired. So we will head to the bottom of the 6th, part of the Pirates order. Clemente, Stargell, and Elliott due up for the Buccos. They still lead it 2-1. With Clemente, big play in this game, gunning down Bid McPhee at the plate. Keep this a Pirates lead. Day is 0 for 1. He also walked. Slider misses down one. Back through the box. There's a base hit for Clemente. Right back up the middle.
Now back.
Well, the rookie right fielder is on with a leadoff single. And they can swipe a bag. Not a big base stealer, but he's certainly capable. Here's Stargell. He's 0 for 2. First pitch. This is down low. Stargell has struck out and grounded out. Walters from the set. Delivers. Stargell lashes it the other way. It's slicing though, and it's down. Bullpen action. Going for the Reds. Go. Out in front of that slider. Pulls it foul. The count is 1-2. Walters deals again. This is inside. Walters rocks and fires. Fastball swung on and missed. Went up in the zone a bit, and Stargell swings and misses for the big strikeout. Walters only dialing it to about 88 there, but good location there for Stargell. Not a good location for Stargell. Good location for Walters against Stargell as he fans him for the first out. Here's Elliott. He's 1 for 2. Shot out there to right. Griffey comes on. He's going to have to play it on the hop. Runner held up to make sure it would get down. Griffey tries to get him, but Clemente gets in the second. It's an opposite field single for Bob Elliott, and the Pirates have 2 runners on. So that'll bring up Andy Van Slyke. Van Slyke 2 for 2. One ball glove. There are singles for Van Slyke. With the bullpen action going, a little bit surprised. Maybe the Reds aren't making a move here. Not that Walters is pitching badly. Just the lefty Van Slyke coming up. He did have bullpen action going. Ground ball down to first. Only play will be to the bag. Runners will move up. Casey takes it himself for the second out.
The catcher, number 35, Manny Sanguillen.
So that'll bring up Manny Sanguillen. As Walters tries to get out of another jam here. 0-2, 0-4-2 for Sanguillen. He's lined out and grounded. See if he gives Manny anything to hit. He does, and Sanguillen hits it out to left field. The Foster is there. Puts it away, and the Bucks fail to come up with the big hit. Walters gets out of the jam. And it's still a 1-run ball game. We'll head to the 7th, 2-1 Pirates. Here's Casey. He's 0 for 2.
The first baseman, Casey.
Foul up. One delivery. Fastball, high strike ball. He's ahead 0-2. And Jacoby and Don Robinson, a pair of right-handers, throwing in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Broken bat there, nubbed foul. To the count, Sanguillen sets up away. Ball's fouled up. Ball down in the dirt. It's 1-2. In there for a called strike 3. Casey goes down looking nice. Change up by Morris. At the knees on the black. Good work from Cannonball Ed Morris. And Casey is set aside. So that'll bring up Heine Groh. Groh is 0 for 1. Fastball to called strike. Pitch. Ball misses away. Fastball is in for a called strike. It's 1-2. Tries to work that high strike again. That one he doesn't get the ball. 2-2 the count. Good pitching matchup here, Morris and Walters. Walters has been able to pitch out of a couple of jams. This one's popped up in foul ground. Stargell has room. Over near the railing, puts it away for the second out.
The batter, number 13.
So 2 down. Here's Concepcion. He's 0 for 2. Steals, fastball on the outside corner. Over there, foul. Now over 2. Smack foul outside first. Yankees have defeated the Blue Jays behind CC Sabathia. Sabathia throws 8 scoreless innings of 5 hit ball in the victory there for the Yankees. Morris fans Concepcion here. So Morris continues to throw well. It's 7th inning stretch time here at Forbes. Buccos holding on to a 2-1 lead. Here's Jay Bell. Bell is 0 for 2.
For the Pirates, the shortstop, Jay Bell.
Ready, Lombardi sets up away. Bell, first pitch swing, pulls it down. Reds, lots of good arms out in that bullpen. Like to get a lead to protect. Ground ball there to Concepcion, over to Casey. Bell is set aside for the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
The batter, number 19, second baseman, Neil Walker.
So here's Neil Walker, 1 for 2. Again, Walker tripled and scored early. Plate. Fly ball out to left center. Slicing a bit towards Foster, but I'm not sure he's going to get there, and he's not. It hits off the base of the wall. Foster plays it off the wall. I believe that is the 4th triple of the game, and that one, George Foster is limited out there in the outfield. It's the 2nd triple for Neil Walker. This ball had a ton of hang time on it. Again, there's lots of room out there in the outfield here at Forbes, but that Foster couldn't get to that ball. Foster really should DH pretty much every day. That's going to be the end for Bucky Walters. So Walters gives a gritty effort here in Pittsburgh. 2-1 ball game. He leaves here in the bottom of the 7th. Walters, you can see, is frustrated. He'll exit, and John Franco will get the call for Cincinnati. Franco 1-4, 3.7 earned run average. He has been devastating against lefties, but righties have touched him up a bit. 22 appearances on the year for Franco. He will face Fred Clark. Clark is 2 for 3. Pirates have struggled to get the big hit in this one. They've had some base runners. They get it there. First pitch from Franco. Clark puts it back through the box, and it's 3-1 Pirates. Fred Clark goes right back up the middle with it. Low sinker from Franco. Clark looking for it, puts it back up through the box. So now here's Max Carey. Carey is 0 for 3. Takes a first pitch strike. Carey popped out his last time up. Throw over to first. Clark gets back in. One pitch. Down in the dirt. Blocked, runner's trying to advance. He's going to make it. Clark got a good break on that one. It didn't get far away from Lombardi. But Clark able to get in. That's a wild pitch on Franco. 1-1, the count to carry. This is down low with the changeup. They're down and in, 3-1. And Day waits on deck. Full foul. There's the pitch in there. A called strike 3 at the knees from Franco, and a big second out there. Carey goes down looking.
The right fielder, number 21, Roberto Clemente.
So now, we've got Clemente up here. All right. So Clemente coming up. Stargell is on deck. Clemente has walked. He's got a hit in his line out. He hit another ball hard. So Clemente's swinging a good bat today. I kind of feel like the Reds should probably make a bullpen change here and go after Clemente. I don't like intentionally walking somebody in front of Stargell if you're the Reds here. Shaw is warm. Shaw's pitched well. So Jeff Shaw, more warmed up than Dibble. Shaw is going to be brought on here to try to pitch to Clemente. Keep this sitting in the situation that it is. I hit the wrong button there. Sorry, that's my fault. What the hell? Hasn't. Oh, he's only faced 2 guys. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, that was my fault. I thought he had faced 3 at that point. Franco's only faced 2. So Franco has to face Clemente. My error. Sorry about that. That's right, because Clark, the leadoff man, was the first guy that he faced. Came in after the Walker hit. So now we'll see how carefully Franco pitches to Clemente here. Clemente out in the right field. That's going to get down. That's going to be a base hit. Griffey makes the play. He gets it in quickly on the hop, but the run comes around to score. Second hit of the game for Roberto Clemente. It's an RBI single, and it's 4-1 Pirates. Franco tried to come into his kitchen a bit. That's probably not a terrible way to go if he gets it up higher in the zone. But didn't get it high enough to tie Clemente up. 4-1. Now with the lefty Stargell up, Franco will face him. That'll be the last batter Franco will face. Franco unable to get out of the trouble. Again, the Pirates had stranded runners throughout this game. They finally break through here in the 7th with a couple of big hits. 1-1 the count as Franco works with Stargell. Slider swung on and missed. 1-2. What is fouled up? Stargell, hot smash to short, fielded nicely by Concepcion, goes the short way. And the side is retired. But the Pirates pick up a pair. We head to the 8th here at Forbes Field. The lights are on, the sun is down, and the Pirates have a 4-1 lead. So Ed Morris at 91 pitches will stay in to start the 8th. He'll open up facing Bid McPhee. McPhee 1 for 2. Breaking ball, McPhee fouls it off. Up there, misses inside. 32,036 on hand here at Forbes. Fastball misses down low. Dennis Eckersley, acquired earlier on this season from the A's, and the former closer, Felipe Vasquez, both throwing out in the Pirates bullpen. Eckersley has not been great since that trade. And the rookie, Eckersley, was kind of stuck behind fingers there. The A's were getting no output out of catcher. There's a liner in the second. Walker snares it for the first out. So A's made a deal that sent Eckersley here to Pittsburgh for Smokey Burgess and somebody else. I forget who else was involved in that trade. Felipe Vasquez has been the closer here for 3 years for Pittsburgh. Struggled early on this year. They inserted Eckersley into the closer role, moved Vasquez into a setup role. And Sanguian went back to being the full-time catcher instead of part-time with Burgess. That's popped up. Stargell puts it away for the second out.
Now batting, right fielder, Ken Griffey.
Here's Ken Griffey. Line shot, base hit through the hole. So Griffey slashes a 2-out single into left.
The batter, the designated hitter, Pete.
That'll bring up Pete Rose. You know, in this end, hearing them say Rose is the designated hitter in this lineup structure for the Reds, Rose should be playing left and Foster should be the designated hitter. I got to adjust that. Because that ball before that Walker got that triple on, Foster has to run that ball down. He just has to. A competent left fielder has to run that ball down. Rose puts it on the ground, routine play. And the side is retired. So we will head to the bottom of the 8th. Ed Morris continues to twirl a good one for the Bucks. They lead at 4-1. Elliott, Van Slyke, and Sanguian 2 up.
Your attention, please. Now pitching.
So now here's Jeff Shaw. Shaw 1-3, a 2.61 ERA this season, 32 appearances. Here's Elliott, 2 for 3. He has doubled and singled, 5 for 7 now in the series.
Bob Elliott.
Slider is in for a called strike. Charlton is up and throwing. Through there, misses low. It's 1-1. Another splitter. That one misses outside. 2-1 the count. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2. Shot down the right field line, slicing into foul ground. Ken Griffey Sr. tracks it down for the grab and the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 18.
Here's Van Slyke, 2 for 3, a pair of singles. Fouled off. Shaw delivers. That's ball off the plate. Ball misses down one. 2-1 the count. Swung on and missed. Goes to 2-2. Splitter misses. And now the count is full of Van Slyke. Sanguin waits on deck. Shaw rocks and fires. Van Slyke fouls it off. Then has been joined by a right-hander out in the Reds bullpen. I tell who that was. Ground ball to the right-hand side, ranging. McPhee gets a glove on it, but can't make the play. Believe that'll go down as an infield hit. And Slyke is on his third hit of the ball game. And that'll bring up Sanguin. Sanguin is 0 for 3. Ball misses down low. A's have extended their lead to 4-0 over the Astros. Reggie Jackson, his 31st home run of the year for Oakland. Fastball's a called strike. That one right down the middle, and it's 1-2. Offering from Shaw. This is down low. Throw to first, down in the dirt. Casey can handle it, but it doesn't get past him. And Slyke will hold. Shaw delivers. This is up high, and the count goes full. Jay Bell waits on deck. Shaw delivers. Line shot out in the center. That's going to get over Concepcion for a base hit. Runner makes a turn. Seymour's throw to third. Not in time. Andy Van Slyke, aggressive base running there, goes first to third, and the Bucks have runners at the corners with one out here in the bottom of the eighth. Seymour took a little while to unload that throw. He made a strong throw. But Van Slyke gets the hand, and the throw kept his hand on the there. He might have actually had a play there. Shaw left in to face Bell, and Jay Bell with a base hit in the left field. It's an RBI single, and the Pirates extend their lead to 5-1. RBI single there for Jay Bell. So the Buccos, who were leaving guys stranded early on in this game, have stopped doing that. Pair of runs in the seventh, another in the eighth. I think that should be. I'm surprised the game isn't pulling it. That's going to be it for Shaw. Clearly does not have his best stuff here. So Charlton and Dibble out in the Reds bullpen are going to go to Charlton with Walker and then Clark up. Charlton will come on.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Cincinnati.
5-1 at 2.63 earned run average in 36 appearances. Charlton got an all-star nod from the Reds. And if you missed the all-star game, that was streamed here on the channel yesterday. Pirates now have 14 hits in the ball game. Walker's got 2 hits, so we're actually going to let, even though he does not hit lefties that well, they're up 5-1. We're going to reward Neil Walker for his multi-hit game with an at-bat here against Charlton. 1 out, first and second. Fastball. Called strike at the top of the zone. Charlton delivers. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up high. Pause and restart there for a second. The crowd noise got really garbled there for a second. I'm not sure if something on the menu screen is kind of causing things to be a little bit wonky for whatever reason. May just be something we have to deal with for a little bit here. There you go. Sounds a little better now. 1-2 the count as Charlton works to walk. Slider misses inside. It's 2-2. Charlton delivers. Shot in the left field. There's a base hit. Runner waved around third. Foster's throw coming in will not be in time. Sanguian gets behind Lombardi, who makes a diving attempt at a tag, but it's an RBI single for Neil Walker, who continues to have a strong day here for the Bucks. And it's 6-1 Pittsburgh. So the Pirates opening this one up late. Here's Clark. He's 3 for 4. Shot down to third. Throw. Tim McPhee onto first. 5-4-3. And that will end the inning. But the Pirates extend the lead. Nice turn here by the Reds, but the damage was done. We head to the ninth. It's 6-1 Pittsburgh. Ed Morris is going to get to start the inning. Here's Foster, 1 for 2, a double and an RBI. It's also walked. Morris at 101 pitches. Foster fouled the first pitch, fastball straight back. Changeup. Misses down low. It's 1-1. Ball. Foster smokes that one with that. One-two pitch from Marks. This is outside. Another fastball off the plate. The count goes full. Ernie Lombardi waits on deck. 2 pitch. Ground ball through the hole. They're playing Foster to shift, and Foster shoots one into right field for a base hit to open up the top of the ninth. And that's going to be it for Morris. They gave him the opportunity. They were going to give him a base runner. And now the Pirates will call on the bullpen to wrap this one up. But a terrific start from Cannonball Ed Morris. Here he allows 1 run over 8 innings. Departs here, unable to get the complete game, but fine work regardless. Here's Rick Rhoden. Rhoden, 5 appearances, a 4.22 earned run average, no record for the mustachioed right-hander. As he toes the slab here to face Lombardi. Lombardi's 1 for 3. First pitch fastball misses outside. Rhoden from the set and delivers. Lombardi pulls it back. On and 1. Rhoden deals in there for a called strike. It's 1-2. There's a shot to short. This might be two. Bell to second, on to first. 6-4-3 double play. And the Reds are down to their final out. Taylor-made double play, ball hit there at a Bell. Barty, of course, does not run well. Kind of casually done there by the Bucks. 6-4-3. Down to the final out. Here's Sean Casey. Casey is 0 for 3. Fastball off the plate for ball one. Casey struck out his last time. 1-0 pitch coming from Roden. Swung on and missed. Roy Face and Lee Meadows both throwing in the Pirates bullpen. I can't imagine there's going to be need for either of them. One offering, swung on and missed, and the Reds are down to their final strike. Roden rocks and fires. Slider there, Casey holds it down. Roden delivers. Slider rides inside. It's 2-2. Roden again. That one misses outside. 3-2 the count. Full count offering here from Roden to Casey as he looks to wrap this one up for the Buccos. Casey shot to short. One hopper. Bell has it. Throws on to first, and that's the ball game. So the Pirates pick up the victory. Close themselves to within 2 games of the Cubs atop the National League Central. And the Reds still in hot pursuit there as well, but this has gone well for the Buccos. Ed Morris, a terrific start. Goes 8 innings, allows 1 run. He started off the 9th. Exited after giving up the leadoff hit. A terrific start from Morris. Bucky Walters grinded his way through this one into the 7th. The Bucks couldn't get the big hit until they started too late. Good game there for Roberto Clemente. Clemente had a couple of hits. Also threw out a runner at the plate. Pirates have taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Morris improves to 9-5. Walters falls to 7-10. Neil Walker gets player of the game honors, 3 for 4, a pair of triples, and an RBI. Fred Clark had 3 hits. Van Slyke had 3 hits. Bob Elliott had 2 hits. Overall, the Pirates, 6 runs, 15 hits. No errors on the day. The Reds, 1 run, 6 hits. 1 error. The Reds got that run in the first. They never really threatened again. So that'll wrap it up here from Forbes Field. As always, I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Again, next game on the channel, at least the next baseball game on the channel. I may have some basketball, may get some boxing done. The boxing will probably be later in the week. Next game on the channel will be Blue Jays and Yankees from the Bronx, if I remember correctly. I think that's at Yankee Stadium. Brian Anderson, again, will take the hill. Anderson was terrific for the Diamondbacks earlier this season. Made a trade there between the Jays and the D-backs, sending Sean Green to Arizona. Anderson gets a big start for the Jays, who are in that wild card hunt. He will lock up against Gator Ron Guidry, going for the Yankees. And again, for the rest of the way now, we're past the All-Star break. Basically, I won't do any games that involve any teams who are more than 5 games out of the playoff picture. And then from whoever is remaining in each week's schedule, I'll pick the best American League matchup and the best National League matchup. So pretty much any game I do the rest of the way should have at least some degree of importance for the playoff picture. Thanks again for tuning in. Bang that like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't as of yet. And most importantly, be good to each other. And we'll talk soon. The Pirates take down the Reds 6-1 at Forbes.